mean,
Yeah.
there is so much power in telling our stories. And
Yeah.
so I want you to talk about a moment that you felt like, you know what, I am finally walking in my power by telling these stories.
Oh man. We were in LA, February 2024, and we had seen the Kobe statue, God rest his soul. And that trip for me was just so, I don't know, it was so prolific of like God saying, like, you're walking in your purpose, son. Right? Because I just remember, like I said, Lanier was such a testimony to even like get it done, to forget everything else that came from it, just to get it done. That alone was such a testimony. But then to see the fruits of your labor just come to fruition, and you could see it in just
Yeah.
like, because Black History Month was really the month where I think the world caught on to what we had done. And just to wake up and to see like Amazon, and just to see the reactions, because we got on the Shade Room, and that's where I felt like wow, like our stories, they really matter at the end of the day. And the fact that that idea just really came to me, and I said, no, like we have to do this, like no matter the risk or whatever it takes, because we're still independent, right? There's a lot that, we don't have. And to make it in that grassroots bootstrapped
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
and to finally pay it off after 2 years, or no, 3 years, actually probably longer than that if I talk about the research portion of that. To just wake up and see like, we made the investors' money back, and then we made some profit. I was like, wow, I'm walking in my purpose to be able to do that. I already
Wow.
felt it, but it's like when you're talking to people about a project and why, like I feel like this is my purpose, because that's
Yeah.
why, that's how I try to frame my projects. Like this is a extension of me.
Yeah.
People don't really click, because they're like, okay, but how am I going to make money from this, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's an extension of me. So the business side is going to take care of itself, because it's going to talk to other people, because it's just not I feel like it's not just my story, right? It's like, it's a lot of people's story.
It's the ancestors.
It's the
like
ancestors,
they're like
exactly.
pushing you.
They like
Yeah.
pushing me. They like,
Yeah.
do it. Like,
Yeah.
you ain't got no shackles on you. You're not shackled mentally either. So go out and do it.
Oh, I think that's the biggest thing, though.
What's
Like,
that?
I think that's the biggest thing, that people understand there are no shackles on your mind.
Yeah.
Imagine what you could do
Yeah.
if you removed every fear.
Yeah. Imagine
Yeah.
what you could do. And that's what I mean, because anybody could have folded making Lanier. I say anybody. Shoot, I almost folded. But God was like,
What
It was
was the
like,
moment
you
that
already-
said, I almost folded in telling this story?
shoot. Probably when we had to invest like another $30K in Lanier. I was like, we're freaking crazy. I was like, God, I don't know why you put this on me to do it. I'm not the one. I'm not the one for it. I'm not built for this. Every imposter syndrome thought
Yeah.
came to my head at that moment when I figured out how deep we were in it. I was like, bro, I'm not the one. I almost folded like a chair. No pun intended, but like that was really the moment when, before we actually were shooting, I was already kind of like folding, because I knew how much had got in it. We had an investor who almost pulled out, by the way, that I was like, man, we gotta be able to get them their money, because they're really taking a shot on us, and the person kind of was getting cold feet about it,
Yeah.
because this was our first one. So yeah, I mean, you put all that together, like $100K, right? That was the total budget of Lanier, right? $100K. That's how much we had to figure out how to recoup it and then make a business like out of it. So that, for the first featured film, salute to all the other filmmakers, by the way, that have first feature films that are bigger than that. Because I was like, bro, this is like, thought this was $100 billion. The way I was feeling, I was like, if we don't do this, we're going to lose our house. We're going to lose our car. We're going to have to give our dog away. When I tell you, I was on the whole hamster wheel, the spiral.
Yeah.
And then when we just started shooting, I was like, oh shit, this kind of good. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then every day that we were getting something, I was like, okay, it might not be like Get Out, right? Because Get Out really spring me into it. So anytime I make a film, I'm thinking of like Sinners or Get Out or the stuff that really gets me going, right? I felt like, okay, even though it's not that quality wise, it's still something as to where I feel like that holds a lot of weight.
Very thought provoking.
Yeah, very
It's
thought
thought
provoking.
provoking. It's
Right.
gonna get you to pause. It's gonna
Yeah.
get you to think like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't know that this was the story behind Oscarville and this black town where this race riot breaks out, essentially, this racial terrorism,
Yeah.
because these people were terrorized.
Yes.
They were terrorized.
Absolutely.
And I think when we look at those stories, it reminds us of our bravery, our resilience, because those people who were displaced because of that racial terrorism, they came down and they still bought land in other
Hmm.
parts of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Bagley Park, I believe they're one of the descendants of people who came, and there was a black man who bought 10 plots of land in Buckhead.
Yeah.
And how that was, ended up losing that land because they wanted to build a park for whites.
And speaking of that, Seneca Village, Andrew
In
Williams bought some
New
land
York.
for $125. And then eventually over time, the city was like, wait a minute, this looks really good for Central Park. So how about y'all leave? We'll give you X amount of money. And then when they want to negotiate, like, that ain't really what my land is worth. I know my land is worth more than that. They're like, nah, I said we're gonna give you this and that's it.
Yeah. And they're either burned out, killed out,
Mm-hmm.
terrorized
Terrorized out.
out. And so this is like a continual theme.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the power of why you telling these stories, it just gives somebody permission to go out and tell another story.
Absolutely. Because I wanna show them that you can do it, obviously, but it's like the business side of it will come as well in time, right? So even if you need to get something financed, you can do it at the end of the day, right? And there's no reason to have limitation on yourself because we need more of these stories. You notice Hollywood, when's the last time you saw a black inventor movie?
Listen, it's not cool to be black in Hollywood right now. I think it's like that's the least cool thing to be is black.
Apparently. But if we rewind like 5 years ago or so, everybody was like, "Oh, we need some black content. We need this. We need that." Yeah.
In the wake of the pandemic and George Floyd,
Yeah.
that was when you saw the rise of DEI. Now it's like, okay, we're done. We can go and move on and sing another story.
Yeah.
And I think even with that being at the forefront of culture, this idea that DEI is gone, that, black is the word that you stay away from if you want any type of funding, how do you combat that in the storytelling?
That's a really good question. I would say, like with the storytelling, we just have to be unapologetic, truthful, because I feel like that was a lot of people's concerns with Lanier. They're like, "Oh, it's going to be another whitewashed story. They're not going to tell the truth." Even with the documentary, and I was like, "Nah, we going there. We going to tell you everything from A through Z, and not put a nice little bow on it. We're going to tell you the truth, and hopefully it sparks something in you to be like, man, other people need to hear this truth."
Yeah.
Because that's another thing with the stuff that's getting made, like for us, it's ultimately from white individuals who are just taking our culture from what they know, not even learning about it and just saying, "Oh, this is going to make some money because, yeah, I've already seen black people soak this up."
Yeah.
So when I just tell the story from my perspective, they're going to rally behind it.
If that blessed you, trust me, you've only scratched the surface. There's so much more wisdom, truth, and transformation waiting in the full conversation. Click the link in the caption below to watch the entire interview, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode of Vaught Empowers Talks.